This episode is brought to you by United Airlines. When you want to make the most of your vacation, book with United. They're an airline that cares about your travels as much as you do. United is transforming the flying experience with Bluetooth connectivity, screens, power at every seat, and bigger overhead bins to help fit everyone's bag. And with their app, you can skip the bag check line, get live updates, and more. Change the way you fly. Book your next trip today at united.com.
Welcome to Hello Uglies, the Dragula recap show for Season 6, Episode 10, titled Grand Finale. My name is Joe Batanz, and I am joined, as always, by the goddess of glitz, glamour, goth, gossip, and gore herself, the one, the only, Miss Lauri K. Rottenkamp. Hello, Laurian.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Are you glad to be doing here the season finale of both Hello Uglies and Dragula?
Shut up!
For the last time.
For the last time.
We got to hear that. Anyway, Lauri, it's nice to have you here for the season
Shut
finale.
I had to do it.
Doesn't that hurt your voice when you do that?
One more time. No. If I went like, if I went, it did like a lower version, it would.
Yeah.
Like, shut up. That would hurt my voice.
All right. Well, you know what, guys? Lauri and I we recorded. We didn't know we'd be able to record this episode today because of my whole schedule that I'm on and all that. So we actually were able to record it, but there was something I was going to say. Oh, but so we recorded just because we didn't know when we were going to do it. We recorded just between us ghouls, like, oh my God, like 2 days ago or something. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
It was yesterday, and we literally phoned it in, as you said. We literally.
Oh, yeah, because Lauri called in on the telephone. Yeah.
Yes. So,
okay, well, you know, so if you want to hear that, it actually was a really good conversation. Lauri got in a fight with one of the listeners. There's a whole thing. And you can do that over at No, Lauri, I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
Yeah, okay.
Just between us ghouls. You can sign up several ways. You can, well, now actually, you just will have one more episode. You get the complete collection at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. Go to the collections tab. And, you know, once that just between us ghouls is posted, you know, that whole collection is there for the season. You can buy, I think it's like $15, one-time fee. You can also subscribe to Patreon executive tier. You get access to all those shows and all the other shows. And then also as a Patreon, you can just scroll up right there on your Apple Podcast app and you can sign up right there. Lauri, you know, before we get into the episode, I wanted to play something here. Lauri called me today and left a voicemail.
Okay. I left you a couple of voicemails, so which one are you playing?
And I want to play this voicemail that she left me today.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Listen to this voicemail she left me today.
Just got home. Seeing what your ETA is. Anyways. Give me a call.
Well, first of all, why are you so out of breath?
Because I had to pick up some packages. Wait, there's more? What's happening?
Laura, I'm really worried about your health.
What's happening?
Oh, that's me.
Okay, well, it's probably going to stop right now.
Oh.
I totally thought I hung up the phone. What's funny is I had my earbud in. So
you didn't even know?
I know, because I totally thought I hung up the phone. I was just like going about my day, just picking up packages, looking at my packages.
All right.
I want you to know there's still like 30 seconds to go.
No, really?
This week, the Boulain brothers treat us to a grand finale. Auntie Heroine, Asia Consent, and Grey Matter show off their best filth, horror, and glamour as they walk the runway one final time. In the end, Asia Consent is named the winner of Dragula season 6.
What's happening?
Okay.
Yeah, I was washing my hands. Okay.
And there you go. Lauri, did the right queen win the crown?
Yes, but I will say that it was a little disappointing in that this sort of was always Asia's to win. I think episode 3 of this season. So the season in general wasn't really that interesting because to me, it just seemed like Asia was definitely the one who was going to win. And then she won. If we're going by the season arc, which the Boulay brothers clearly state that that's what they go by, Asia was the rightful winner. If we're going by the season finale looks in just by themselves, no, I do not feel that Asia should have won.
Interesting. I think I might disagree with you on this one. Well, what's funny, Lauri, is every year you and I do Meet Our Monsters. And at the end, and we do this with Meet the Queens too, we make a prediction based on what we saw on Meet Our Monsters about who will be in we said Final Four because they have had a Final Four. So we didn't know what to do. So we did a Final Four. But we know who the Final Four were. The Final Four were Yuri, Asia Consent, Gray Matter, and Auntie Heroine. Let's see what you and I said. I have it pulled up right here. Here we go. Okay, so Lauri, why don't you give... Okay, this is for me, it's in no particular order. I'm just saying top 4. But why don't you give us your first choice?
Gray Matter.
I have Gray Matter on my top 4. Okay. Next.
Aurora Gosmic.
Oh, Lauri. Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay, I'm going to put here Majesty.
Okay.
Do you have Majesty on your list?
Both of us were so wrong.
I have Majesty, but she's next.
Okay.
Majesty is my third choice.
Okay. So Majesty's your third choice. Okay, then my third choice then is Auntie Heroine.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh, you don't have her. Okay.
No. My last choice is Asia Consent.
That's my last choice too. So we match on 3 of the 4. We both have Asia Consent, Gray Matter, and Majesty, except I say Auntie Heroine and you say Aurora Gosmic, which I think is a very good choice too. I could see myself have made that choice as well.
I mean, honestly, I feel like now that I pick them, they're all going away.
Okay, so listen, here's the thing. You got 2 of the top 3. I got 3 of the top 3. And I don't think that's because we're so prescient.
Yeah.
I think what we see here is that it was even very obvious from Meet Our Monsters who the tops were going to be. I think it's very obvious just from that.
Yes. Also, this is how I don't know if this shows how bad the show was or how bad my memory is, but I initially was like, who the hell is Aurora Gosmic?
Oh, really?
So I had to look her up.
Oh, you did? You don't remember who Aurora Gosmic is?
Now
She's the
I
one
remember.
That Majesty said, yeah. Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we are going to talk about the rest of the episode. We'll be back right after this. Hey there, Joe here. It feels like every celebrity out there has access to these GLP-1s for weight loss. Those weekly injections everyone's talking about. But what about the rest of us? That's where Hers comes in. They're changing women's healthcare with affordable weight loss treatments made just for you. Through Hers, you'll get access to personalized solutions like GLP-1 weekly injections featuring the same active ingredients as Ozempic and Wegovy and oral medication kits. A licensed medical provider will create a tailored plan tailored to your needs, and if prescribed, you'll receive ongoing care and online support at no extra cost. And here's the best part. Hers makes it affordable. No hidden fees, no memberships, just support to help you hit your goals. Plus, everything ships free right to your
store. So if you're ready to take control of your weight loss journey, start your free online visit today at forhers.com/crime. That's forhers.com/crime for your personalized weight loss treatment options. forhers.com/crime. Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
This episode is brought to you by United Airlines. When you want to make the most of your vacation, book with United. They're an airline that cares about your travels as much as you do. United is transforming the flying experience with Bluetooth connectivity, screens, power at every seat, and bigger overhead bins to help fit everyone's bag. And with their app, you can skip the bag check line, get live updates, and more. Change the way you fly. Book your next trip today at united.com.
Gift the remarkable with Marc Jacobs fragrances this holiday season. From the iconic Daisy and Perfect to the all-new Daisy Wild, Marc Jacobs perfume gift sets include everything she needs to feel special. From her favorite fragrance, plus the matching travel spray. Holiday gifts don't get much more perfect than this. So if you're looking for a gift inspiration these holidays, gift the remarkable with Marc Jacobs.
And we are back.
Shut up!
Okay, Lauri. Look, I didn't even write a script for this part, and I guess we can talk about it a little bit. The queens come in, and they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe we're in the top 3. Oh my god, remember this?" And then they just do all kinds of memories of things that we've talked about to death. And then they go into. I have to be honest with the audience. I don't remember when I watched this, but when I watched it, I was pressed for time. So I said, you know what? Why don't we? I'll watch the looks, and I'm going to skip the whole hometown stories. And I never went back. I never went back and looked at them. Lauri did see them, and she said that I wasn't really missing anything. Did I miss any sort of reveals in the hometown stories?
You missed one, I think, big reveal, but it was. I mean, big is in quotes.
Okay.
Which. Honestly, I feel like you could if I gave you guesses. Well, no, I think once you hear it, you're gonna go, "Oh, that makes perfect sense." Auntie Heroine grew up in a cult.
Didn't she mention this in an episode or something?
She might have, but it's called The Way, I think she said, and her parents met in the cult, and then it was a religious cult, and the cult was kind of disbanding, but I guess her parents were still into it. So
are they still into it?
I don't know. She didn't mention if they were. It seems like they have I don't know if they're talking or if they have a strained relationship, but it's definitely not, a healthy. I don't think it's a healthy relationship. She mentioned that she had a boyfriend on MySpace when she was 16, and she went to visit the boyfriend, and when she came back, all her stuff was gone. And her parents just said, "We know about your boyfriend." And then she said that was like the start of her trust issues. And then she goes, "So that's why I haven't really been able to trust people on this show." And I was like,
what?
"Oh, okay.
Bitch, you're already 40.
Yeah.
I mean, what does that have to do with anything?
We're going to need a lot of wood to build that bridge to get to that.
I could see not trusting your parents, but why would you not trust people who? Yeah, it's so dumb. I hate that shit. It's so stupid.
So,
yeah,
that was dumb, but I did think that was kind of interesting. And yeah, I mean, it explains a lot about her personality and the way she dresses. She definitely dresses like somebody who grew up in a cult. And so, yeah. And then also, I guess this is true because I was thinking back to it. She kept saying, "I'm a glamour queen." And I was just like, I guess I don't like Auntie Heroine as I feel like they're a little annoying. But their drag just they do seem very versatile. So I don't necessarily consider them to be just a glamour queen, but she was just like, Auntie Heroine is first and foremost a glamour queen. And I was like,
I never considered her a glamour queen, I'll be honest with you.
I think she kind of has shown that she's been able to do, well, not in this finale, but in other shows, she's showing that she's able to do other things really well. And so, I don't know, I thought, and then to me, the best part was that they cut it with clips of them walking through the like production trucks and the production vans and the mobile homes they used to like have people there, but they never went in one. They would just like walk up to one and knock on the door or something, and that was so it was a little ridiculous, but it was fine. And then I think Asia talked about her upbringing as a queer, a trans Black woman, and then Gray Matter mentioned alcohol, a recovering addict. I would say the one thing that scared me a little bit with Gray Matter was that he said, "I'm very comfortable and confident in my sobriety. I can be around people who drink and I don't feel tempted. I can be around drunk people. I can be around a lot of people. It doesn't, and I don't know. That to me scared me a little bit. I was like, oh, I don't know.
Why would it scare you?
I just feel like I don't know. I don't know anything about addiction, drug addiction. So I'm not an expert, but it just worries me when somebody who has an addiction to a substance is like, I can be around it as much as I want and I don't feel tempted. Like, that worries me. So, but I mean, that's their life. So,
yeah. All right. You ready to talk to the ghost host for the last time?
Sure.
All right. So, let's say hi for the last time to the ghost host.
Ah, Joe, my dear friend. You have summoned me once more into the haunting glow of the Dragula runway. I am prepared to uncloak these final phantasmagorical creations. Speak the first theme, and let us revel together in the macabre splendor of their finale finery.
All right, very good, ghost host. So let me tell you what. The first category, Lauri, do you know what the first category is?
Filth.
Yeah, the first category is filth. All right. So that's the filth. You're great, ghost host.
Ah, filth. A revolting descent into the depraved and the grotesque. Here, the queens revel in squalor, transforming the unspeakable into a theatrical spectacle. With writhing maggots, sour milk, and entrails trailing behind, these avatars of revulsion dare to embody the essence of filth itself, crafting a performance so vile, it seduces the audience into the foulest corners of the imagination.
All right, Lauri. That was the introduction for filth. Now, they actually do a different order on the show, but I'm just going to go with whatever the order was on the first set, which was Auntie Heroine, Asia Consent, and Gray Matter, and we're just going to do that throughout, just to be consistent.
Okay.
They didn't do that order in the real thing, but that's the way we're going to do it. So the first one we have is Auntie Heroine doing her filth. Here we go.
Ah, behold Auntie Heroine, the confectionery queen of corruption. Draped in a sickly green gown, adorned with glistening pustule-like embellishments, she struts with an eerie elegance, her face smeared with the gluttonous remains of desserts writhing with maggots. The piece de resistance, a trailing train of exposed entrails, slithers behind her like a grotesque, unholy banquet brought to life.
Scary.
Yeah, that's scary. Asia Consent. I'm not Auntie Heroine. What did you think of Auntie Heroine's filth look?
So, I guess the thing I loved more about this finale, more than Asia winning, is that Auntie Heroine shit the bed so hard, in my opinion. This look was the opposite of terrifying. This was more like, why? Why are you doing this? To be honest with you, I didn't put it together that it was a parasite because she said in her thing that it was a parasite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought it was her hair for the longest time, and I was like, how is this scary? But then
this is filth. It's not supposed to be scary.
Or how is it, gross or whatever? It's just a long bloody hair.
Yeah.
I also, side note, loved that when they they showed the workroom with them working on stuff. It looked like she was putting together a shelf for the longest time. I was just like, why are you putting together this shelf? But yeah, no, this was bad. And then she showed it seemed like she introduced the cakes for like a full 10 minutes, which, I know it wasn't that long, but it was like, okay, get to the worms inside the cake. We all know they're there. But she's like, oh, look at these cakes. So.
Yeah, I thought it was horrible. I think she went for something which she was going to surprise you and be glamorous and then show you that she was really filthy and eating the parasites. It didn't work, for effort, but it really, really didn't work. And it just, especially the way they cut it, it just seemed like she was, because what they used, and this is the only version that they did this. They did what they usually do in the floor show, which is they show you the look, and then at the end they do a montage of all the people doing their filth part. And so when we just saw her initial package, it was just her being like glamorous with some cakes.
Yeah. And something,
so we were like,
long coming out of her butt.
Oh, yeah, like entrails coming out of her butt. But other than that, it was just really lame. It was a complete fail for me.
I did not. Yeah. I didn't get it. I didn't like it.
All right, let's move on to Asia Consent.
Asia Consent, a festering siren of decay. She emerges from a grotesque organic portal, her body cloaked in a vile assemblage of waste and rot, as if the earth itself had rejected her form. Surrounded by a symphony of buzzing flies, she revels in the grotesque, her final act a chilling communion with a tarnished relic of filth, sealing her place as the high priestess of unspeakable depravity.
All right, Lauri, that was Asia Consent. What were your thoughts on Asia Consent's look?
I thought this was good. I thought this was really good. If I was nitpicky, I would say that the only critique was that I didn't like the first part where she came out of the butt cheeks. I thought that was a little. I don't think it is done as well as the Boulet brothers thought. But I thought she did a great job of, showcasing her outfit and then really ramping up the filth. I mean, it's always a good sign when I can't watch. I could not watch towards the end. So I thought it was really good.
I thought it was really, really gross. I think she did a good job with the filth aspect of it all. And yeah, it was really, really gross. She was made of shit. She had fucking flies flying around her. She ate shit. It was gross. It was literally filth, and it was really filthy. And I think she did a great job, like licking the toilet and stuff like that. It was
that was
fucking
nasty.
Disgusting. And I thought she did a good job. All right, let's move on to gray matter. Filth, gray matter. Here we go.
Gray matter, a vision of revolting rural horror, donning a grotesque cow-headed mask and a milkman's cap inscribed with the sinister command, "Milk me." He parades his own ghastly uttered anatomy, squirting the tainted nectar of filth for all to behold. The depravity crescendos as he bathes in sour milk, feasting on unspeakable waste, transforming the mundane into a nightmare of dairy-fueled debauchery.
Your thoughts here on Gray Matter, Lauri?
I liked his too. I thought he did really well. Again, if I was being nitpicky, I thought I just didn't like the face mask he was wearing.
Okay.
But overall, the body suit was amazing. I thought that was really gross. And yeah, I thought he heightened it really well. And I thought he did a great job. I really liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was really good. This is where you and I are different. I actually think it was a really good job, really great, truly gross, truly filthy. It was really clever. You know, it was gross. It was filthy. Exactly what it was supposed to be. But it just didn't do it for me the way that Asia's did. So I still like if Asia's an A+, he's an A kind of thing. It's like a shade of different for me.
I see what you're saying. I personally felt the bodysuit was so, in my opinion, much more graphic than the poo dress. So that's why I would say Gray Matter won that round. But I look, Asia, I thought did an amazing job. So
yeah, very good. All right, now we'll go to the next category. Here we go.
Horror, the lifeblood of Dragula, where nightmares are stitched into fabric and fear is worn like a crown. Unleash the first look and let us descend into the shadowy depths of terror together.
All right, Lauri, that's going to be our horror category. And again, like I said, we are doing the same order we did last time, even though I think this time it was Auntie, Gray, and Asia. But how we're going to do it, we're going to do Auntie Heroine first. Here we go.
Auntie Heroine, delivering a cosmic nightmare that melds retrofuturism with interstellar terror. Her bulbous, pulsating, brain-like visage, framed by a grotesque maw of jagged teeth, recalls a B-movie alien that has slithered from the darkest depths of the galaxy, encased in shimmering, skin-tight latex and wielding a menacing ray gun. She is a horrifying vision of a creature bent on humanity's destruction, blending campy nostalgia with extraterrestrial dread.
All right, Lauri, that is Auntie Heroine. Any thoughts here on Auntie Heroine?
look, if this was a Mars Attacks drag competition show, Auntie Heroine would have gotten first place.
Yeah.
I thought her character was great. I thought her look was great for a Mars Attacks drag competition show. For a horror, absolutely not. In no way was I ever scared. In fact, I was more frightened for her than I was for when she was scooping the stuff out of her head. I was like, oh no, she's shot. So I was like, I shouldn't be feeling sad for her. So yeah.
Which the scooping out of the head wasn't in the original run of it, right? They didn't show it until they was, which kind of fuck. I will say, the one part that you would think is scary, they didn't show until the judge's deliberation, the critiques.
Yeah.
So when she came out for the floor show, she just came out and shot like a ray gun, and that was it. And you're like, how is this horror?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
It wasn't horror at all.
She didn't show it. They didn't show it in the. Yeah. No. Look, her look was great. But it wasn't for horror.
If it was a sci-fi challenge, I would have been, bitch, take my money, right?
Yes.
But it wasn't a sci-fi challenge.
No.
It was a horror challenge. And even the thing with the digging stuff out of your head, it was just like, oh, I mean, that wasn't horror to me.
No, not at all.
It was a complete fail. Yeah. All right, we are in agreement. Let's go on to Asia Consent. Here we go.
Behold Asia Consent. A chilling tableau of torment and despair. She stands as a macabre marionette, her blood-streaked visage crowned with a chaotic halo of writhing, flame-like shapes, a harrowing reflection of her unraveling mind. Over her shoulder looms a demonic specter, its gnarled horns and hollow gaze whispering dark promises, urging her toward the ultimate act of mortal horror, a chilling personification of temptation and doom.
All right, that's Asia Consent. Lauri, what are your thoughts here on Asia Consent?
I'm going to be honest. Overall, I did not get this one.
Oh my God, I loved it.
There was a moment at the very beginning where it was, I don't know if it was the lighting or what, but if it was just a still photo of that moment, I would have been like, oh yeah, that's great. But everything else, it just looked like she was carrying a prop around the entire time. And then what was she writing? She was writing a letter. Like, how is that scary? She's writing a letter? Like, and then she rips up the letter. I don't know. I did not get it at all. I thought she looked good, but no, it just didn't. And maybe that kind of symbolism just doesn't hit me. I don't know if I'm going to try and simplify this as much as possible, but do you know, you've seen the musical Les Mis, right?
Sure have.
Okay. So I was kicked out of the English production of Les Mis. Watching it as a high school student, because there's a scene where the captain or whatever is about to kill himself by jumping off a bridge into some water, right? And the way that they did it in the musical is they had a platform that was probably about the height of a table, and it was rotating, and they hit it with blue light that they did a spotlight on, that they moved around. And the guy barely jumps, basically falls over onto this rolling platform, rolls, and they hit him with the blue light. It was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in the whole musical. And I just laughed hysterically, and they did not like that. They thought that I was being very rude, and they asked me to leave. So I had to wait outside. So Did
you get in trouble?
I got a little bit of a talking to, but overall, I just think maybe... So I'm just trying to say that just so you know my background. So you know that like that kind of symbolism is just not in my wheelhouse. But yeah, I did not get this at all.
But take that all out of consideration. What I'm saying is the whole thing with just a demon over your shoulder. I knew someone who had a mental breakdown because of drugs. And when they were telling me about the breakdown, they were talking to me about how they would actually see demons as if they were real, Lauri, as if they were real, sitting there staring. And I just saw a scary TikTok the other day of a woman who has schizophrenia.
Yeah.
And she was talking about what she actually sees. And so she reenacted what she sees, and it's so fucking scary what she sees, right? And so just having a demon on your shoulder just was very scary to me. And then it's trying to encourage you to unalive yourself, Lauri, as the kids say on TikTok.
Is that what it was trying to do? Because it just seemed to me like it was encouraging her to get into writing. So
no, I think she was writing her suicide note, and then I think she starts cutting her wrist or something.
Well, she ripped it up at the end, so I didn't.
At that part, it kind of lost its thread there. But yeah.
But the way that it looked when they were moving around and stuff, if I looked over my shoulder and saw like a paper mache demon, I go, oh, this is the weirdest thing I wouldn't be terrified. I'd be like, why is a paper mache demon on my shoulder? Like, it just didn't look scary to me. Like there was one moment where it like they did a good job of showcasing it, but everything else, it just looked very ridiculous. It did not look like it didn't have good production value.
I really, it might be one of my favorite Dragula looks of all time, if I'm being honest.
Really, I mean, I'm almost positive I'm in the minority. So and good for her for going for it, but I did not get it.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. I believe is Gray Matter.
Ah, Gray Matter, a masterclass in visceral terror. Bound in chains that stretch to the abyss, he staggers onto the stage like a condemned soul, his leather mask concealing horrors unknown. As the chains fall, he unveils a grotesque, mutilated visage, only to escalate the nightmare, ripping away his own face to reveal a grinning, blood-drenched skull, a macabre symphony of bondage and self-destruction, leaving the audience trembling in dread.
All right, Lauri, Gray Matter, the horror one.
I loved it. I thought it was great. I that kind of stuff always freaks me out anyway, so I feel like I was already like, ooh. And I thought the opening was great, and then the reveals were awesome. I will say that if any critique, I think maybe it got a little boring towards the end, but other than that, I think, I thought it was my favorite one of the three.
All right, very good. It wasn't my favorite. To me, still, Asia's was my favorite, but it was very good. It reminded me kind of a lot, but maybe with more thought of what kind of Organic was going for. It had a lot of that to it, but like I think it had more thought, more story to it. And I thought it was fantastic. Again, they both, Asia and Gray, to me, delivered on every single look.
Yes.
And so this one, like, when I say, I liked Asia's better, this one was a very close second. It was really good. The taking off of the leather mask and then the face and the skull and everything. I feel it told the story of Gray Matter in a very effective way. All right, let's go to the next topic.
Glamour, a shimmering reprieve from the shadows where opulence and beauty reign supreme.
I feel like the ghost host
song. The first contender and let us bask.
I'm going to give a little peek behind the curtain here. Lauri and Star and I were talking when I was processing the ghost host's voice, and I think I may have put the echo twice on it. Which is what it sounded like.
Oh, okay.
So he was introducing Glamour. All right, here we go. First up, Auntie Heroine.
Auntie Heroine, a regal enigma of winter's embrace. She enters cloaked in a shimmering gown of silver and aquamarine, crowned with an icy spiked headdress that sparkles like frost beneath moonlight. But the true enchantment lies in her dramatic reveal, tearing away her majestic layers to unveil a sleek bodysuit in the same crystalline palette, a dazzling transformation that merges queenly grandeur with daring modern glamour.
All right, Lauri and Kate Roggenkamp, your thoughts here on Auntie's glamour look?
I thought it was her best look, but I still wasn't impressed. I didn't think it was that great. If anything, I thought it was weirdly more horror than her horror look.
I kind of agree with you. I didn't think I thought it looked like a cheap pageant look, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but I thought it was. I mean, at least she tried to keep it. It was like kind of theme based. You know what I mean? Like I was like. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, no, I did not like this look at all. I thought it was really bad, if I'm being honest. And I didn't think it. I mean, I could see at least this one. I could see she was going for glamour. The yes. First two was like a glamour. You know what? She was more glamorous in her filth one. That's true. Before she started eating the cake. And then the horror one made no sense. It wasn't horrifying at all. No. And then this one, it just looked like it was weird. It was like, I don't know. It was bizarre. I didn't like it at all. All right, let's go over to Asia Consent and her glamour look.
Asia Consent, a gothic empress carved from bone and shadow. Her gilded skeletal crown, adorned with crimson jewels, rises like the spires of a haunted cathedral, framing her face in sinister opulence. The bodice, an intricate lattice of golden bone, cascades into a sleek black skirt, textured like the hide of an ancient beast, while spiny obsidian tendrils twist and curl behind her, evoking a dark queen ascending to her throne of nightmares and majesty.
All right, Lauri, that was Asia Consent. Any thoughts there on Asia Consent?
I liked it. I wish there was more. I felt like in that I kind of was wishing, I thought it was great. I'm not gonna lie, I thought, oh, that's a cool look, but I don't know. I was just wishing there was more. I mean, it's glamour. I feel like she could have done more.
Why do I
opulence.
feel, you still have to have a sort of like Dragula feel to the glamour. I thought this is the textbook definition. Even though I'm going to say Grey gives her a run for the fucking money, both of them really delivered what glamour should be on Dragula. The text, but both of them. If you look it up, Dragula glamour on there, you would see both of their looks, in my opinion.
Well, I think you're kind of hitting the nail on the head. Is that maybe my opinion is more based off of just drag in general, but because I was saying this, I was talking to my sister-in-law. I was just like, I feel like Asia's gonna win because she embodies Dragula. She has the Dragula vibe more than any contestant. And so I think you're kind of hitting the nail on the head is that, everything she's done has kind of hit the Dragula mark. And so, but I'm giving my opinion. Personally, for me, it wasn't, I wish there was more. That's all I feel like.
All right, let's do the last one, Gray Matter.
Gray matter, a diabolical vision drenched in decadence, cloaked in shimmering crimson and obsidian. They rise like a vampiric deity, crowned with twisting horns, encrusted in ruby red brilliance. Their gown, in intricate armor of glittering textures, unfurls into a sinister bloom of jagged spikes and crimson plumes, evoking the grandeur of a demonic phoenix ascending in glorious gothic splendor.
Lauri, any thoughts here on Gray Matter?
I absolutely love this. I thought it was great. I thought she killed it. I'm sort of glad. So just behind the scenes again, I had asked Joe, because Joe saw the episode before me. So I asked him who won, and he told me. And so I'm glad that you did, because I honestly, in that moment watching Gray Matter, I would have thought, oh, this is Gray Matters to win. And then I'm glad that I knew that it wasn't, because I think I would have been more disappointed if I had,
I see.
So, but I loved it. I thought she did. It was a phenomenal outfit.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, everybody. To me, it's like Asia and Gray. It was their. And if they would have given it to Gray Matter, I would have totally gotten it. Honestly, they should have given it to Gray Matter, because then you could bring Asia Consent back for a Titans.
Well, maybe they bring Gray Matter back for a Titans.
Yeah, no, but he wasn't that good at television. I'm saying Asia was better at television.
Yeah.
She could have formed all these alliances. Well, Lauri, it's time to say goodbye to the ghost host for this season. He's done an incredible job, and let's let him give his final message.
My dear Joe, the time has come to bid you adieu, as the shadows beckon me back to my eternal slumber. I leave you with the lingering scent of graveyard lilies and the echo of haunted whispers. Until the next season of darkness, glamour, and fright, may your nights be as chilling as they are fabulous. Farewell, until we meet again in the land of nightmares.
Wow, what an exit for the ghost host. Lauri, what did you think of the ghost host this season?
Yeah, I thought the ghost host was a good addition. I liked it.
You know why? Because the ghost host talks for so long, Lauri can play her Candy Crush.
That's exactly.
While he's talking, Lauri's just playing whatever the game she has there on her phone.
My new thing is this game where you take different bottles with different colors in them and then try and put the one color in each bottle. So that's my new game.
All right. In the end, the Boulay brothers crowned Asia Consent as the winner of Dragula Season 6, and she walked the runway with her crown and scepter and was blessed with a bucket of blood. Lauri and Kay, Roggenkamp, any final thoughts on the episode and the season?
Overall, I will say that I felt that the season in some ways a good season, in some ways kind of a boring season. I love that the Boulet brothers said that they liked how Asia played the game. And I was like, no, you liked that she pretended that there was a game. Like, that's what you liked. And I was realizing this episode, isn't technically this season 666?
Yeah, well, that's what they call it. Yeah, but
because they kept saying season 6 on the episode. And I was like, isn't it 6? Shouldn't you be saying 66? Not us, but them. Shouldn't they be saying season 666? But they were saying season 6, and I was like, I wonder if it's because when they kept trying to do it, they kept messing up and being like, like how I do it. But yeah, no, there were so many things that frustrated me, but then at the end of the day, I'm really glad Asia Consent won. I think she's awesome. And I'm just happy that she won.
Yeah, the right person won. Look, it was a very watchable, it was a very predictable, it was watchable and it was predictable. I mean, like I said, we're not super, I'm usually actually very wrong at these things. So we called it and we're not good at this stuff.
No.
So I think it was very obvious from the very beginning who was going to be in the top. It was just, us watching it happen. And the right person won. And it wasn't maybe necessarily the most fun show to recap, but it was actually not a bad show to watch.
Yes. I would say that's a great explanation.
Yeah. So, so that's how I feel. I have no other real thought. Oh, but really quickly, it was annoying that the Boulet brothers had to do this false equivalency thing where like they made it seem like all of 3 of them were contention, where it's clear Auntie was just out the second she came on the stupid looks. Well,
and then they couldn't even hide it when they were talking about them. Like they couldn't even hide that they were going to immediately vote for Asia, because they would be so effusive with Asia and how, she totally exemplifies like a winner. And then I love when they get to Grey Matter, they're like, yeah, she could maybe win. Maybe. I don't know. I could see her winning. And it's like, oh, well, don't hurt yourself trying to pretend. Yeah, no, it was, it was ridiculous.
All right, Lauri, any final words for our ghoul friends out there?
I hope if a game is what you want the show to become, then I hope you actually turn it into a game. That's what I have to say.
Well, that's going to do it for this season of Hello Uglies. Be sure to join us next season as we continue to discuss, dissect, and deconstruct each brand new season of the Boulet Brothers Dragula, the search for the world's next drag supermonster. So, until then, for Lauri and Kay Roggenkamp and myself,
so long, Uglies!
Thank you for listening to Hello Uglies. Have something to say? Leave us a message at speakpipe.com/afterthoughtmedia. For access to more LGBTQ content and other Afterthought Media shows, support us on Patreon at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. Hello Uglies is an Afterthought Media podcast.